we went over to the Vikings, the demographic changed. It wasn't a predominantly black team, and there were a lot of young boys that you know, you hear everybody talk about it. You hear everybody talk about it, you know, they don't understand you. They don't, you know, nah, we all men. We all men. You're 8 years old just like my son. I don't care, black, white, blue, purple, whatever. You're a young man like my son. If I'm gonna get on my son for jumping outside, I'm gonna get on you for jumping outside. If I'm gonna get on my son for being disrespectful, I'm gonna get on you for being disrespectful. And I had to embrace being in a different environment, but accepting the differences.
Welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr. And to the right of me, man, I got a very, very special person that's not a guest, but he is a Super Bowl winning coach. We got Mr. Eddie Rock on the podcast. Hey, Rockets in the house. He's back, y'all. How you feeling today, Rocket?
Man, I'm all right, bro. How about you, man?
I'm feeling awesome, man. The Rockets coming. If you don't know, the Pee Wee Vikings. Rock is the offensive coordinator, man. They coming off of winning.
Let me see.
What do you got? What do you got
for him, man?
Ooh, he brought that ring. Take him zoom in, yeah. We got the ring, baby. Championship ring. Put it in the camera, man. He brought the jewels. He got it. Hey, man, but we're going to get into it, man. This episode will be about this, right? Winning championships, winning culture, and all those different things. So, man, speaking of winning culture, man, Cut Different Academy coming soon, 2027. What's up, EL2A family, man? Come invest in the futures that are going to change the world. What you see here right now, man, we are reimagining education, right? We are giving these young boys and showing them who they are and where they're going. We're creating a school-to-career pipeline, and it's happening right here on this property, man. So let's go, EL2A fan. We're going to have a QR code that pops up. You scan that code, all right? And it's going to take you and tell you everything you need to know to come help us invest in the futures that's going to change the world. Let's go. Yeah. We're going to create a championship environment, a winning culture where young men will be bred, right, for success. All right, they'll know who they are, they'll know where they're going, so they can win some championships in life, whatever that means for them. All right, we're going to set them up to win the championships. So Cut Different Academy, come invest in the future that's going to change the world. Let's just have a like, subscribe, and comment. All right, start what you're doing. Like, subscribe, and comment. We're going to give you some winning culture. You got a Super Bowl winning coach sitting up here right now. You about to get some real game. I need to make sure that y'all like and subscribe and then comment and, man, tell us what your takeaways. And, yeah, I guess that's it, man. Back to the Rocket. We're going to get right into it, man. So you just won a championship, right? First of all, how does that feel to put that next to your name?
Hey, man, it feels good. I think it's more so the feeling that I get from, I was sharing with Rory, it's more the feeling getting it from like the boys that we see within the school, you know what I'm saying? Being able to see them out there in that environment, but so they already know Mr. Eddie as the, you know, one of the mentors, but they're Mr. Eddie, Coach Eddie, championship Mr. Eddie, you know what I'm saying? So it's a good feeling though.
Yeah, and it gotta be, let's be real, right? I get to be humble, right? But it gotta be a braggadocious thing, right? Because you get online, right? We got coaches all across the thing, you know what I mean? And they coach and they're striving for, you know what I mean, to win a championship. But a lot of them haven't, because only one team can win the championship. You did coach before, but you took some time off. And then you pop back up, and you coach, and then you win the championship, right? So with the humbleness aside, how does it feel?
So Coach Taylor, Joe Taylor always said, like, whenever we scored or anytime we got in the end zone, anytime we made a great play, he always finished it with, act like you've been there before. So the only difference between this championship and the championship when I coached with Pops, junior with the junior Chiefs, we had trophies. They didn't have rings then. So I actually won the championship before as a coach. Yeah. And then co-MEAC champions when I was in college. So again, we've been there before. So I've been in that situation before. It's a great feeling. I don't know, everybody, I did look at, I could see everybody in the crowd, because I mean, it was a surreal moment, man. Just being able to see like the excitement from everybody. Because when that field goal was made, I was on the field, but I immediately turned around. I could see the coaches jumping up and everything. And now you watching film, and you see some of the coaches they would jump higher than the kids.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I mean, it was still a good feeling. So I mean, I know you say put it to the side or whatever the case may be, but man, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
And I feel like we could do it again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for real. So what from the beginning, what I want to do in this episode, right? I want to take this experience because I know there's things that you learn, challenges that were had that can be a correlation to someone's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because football is the greatest team game of them all, right? Football game is a mechanism of life, right? Everything that goes on a football field, it happens in life, right? Mm-hmm. Just from even think about my football experience, man. I had things that were said to me. I always say, I said on this podcast, one of my coach, sudden change, here we go. Sudden change, here we go. Just talking about how life, you never know, things change, and you got to be ready on the dime to adapt and adjust. Mm-hmm. Another thing, mental toughness. That's a word I always heard during football that I never liked, but now I understand it more so than ever. So there's a lot of things that you can learn from a championship run that I just want to help the people today. So I even want to start here. What inspired you? What inspired you to be a coach?
Ah, man. So truth be told, I wasn't supposed to be. I really wasn't. I mean, it was just more so of what happened was I knew I wanted my son, I wanted Q to be around. I wanted him to be coached by men, and not just any men, not just the coaches that we see on social media, not just because somebody played. No, he had to be around somebody that, at the end of the day, if I was there or not, they were going to teach him the fundamentals of football, but also hold him accountable as a young man to teach him those core values that can translate from sports to the real world. And that's how he actually got on that team, on the Pee Wee Vikings, because initially he was supposed to be on another team, and I made a call to one of the other coaches on a different team, and I was trying to figure out who are the men that are going to be coaching my son, and through that conversation, I was like, I wasn't 100% sure that was the best place for him, but I was like, okay, cool, we can go, we'll be able to do it. But in my heart of heart, like I said, I just wanted him to be around the right group of men. Mm-hmm. And it was almost, I basically had to, or we as a family, it was a sacrifice, because where we could have been practicing at, could have been right up the road, but we went even further because we wanted to put him in the best environment. Mm-hmm. And when I got there, they knew about Cut Different. They knew that I mentored. And I just remember with Coach Dion, he was like, hey, you want to speak? You want to talk to the parents? I'm like, nah, that was the first meet and greet. It's like, nah, I'm good, because I wasn't trying to coach. Then the second meet and greet, he was like, hey, some of the parents are asking who are the men that's going to be around the kids. So again, I got to go back to what I was saying. I wanted my son to be around the right men. So at that point, it was a respect thing. I gotta be respectful of the parents that want to know who's gonna be around my son. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'll speak up, and I gave them a quick backstory of who I was, what I did, and it just went from there. Being out there with the boys, one thing led to another, and then they got me on the field, called them plays.
Yeah. Nah, that's cool. But even hearing what you're saying, one thing I was thinking about, parents are gonna be watching this. What are some key things they should look for, right? If they looking to have their child on the team and want the child to be on the team, what should they be looking for? It made me think back with Pops. Like Pops wouldn't let us play with the senior coach because Coach King, right? Because he didn't just like, and that don't make Coach King a bad coach. He just wasn't our cup of tea. You get what I'm saying? But for you, what do you think some things parents should look for?
Yeah, just the self-respect. I think that's the biggest thing, man. When you got these coaches. And I take my hat off to all the men that coach, because you coach for free. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, you're giving your time up, your personal time up to go coach somebody else's child. But there has to be limits to the things that we say and the things that we do. And I guess whenever you want your son around somebody, you want your son to be around somebody that's gonna, in so many words, bro, it's crazy, be a role model. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Would I allow? One of the things that always was in the back of my head at the beginning of it's like, okay, well, if I leave practice, would I be okay with leaving my son there with these men? Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things that had always stuck with me. So that's about the simplest thing. Do you trust these men to be with your son when you're not there? Yeah. I think that's simple as I could put it.
Yeah, not a good stuff. So when you think about challenges, right? At the beginning of the season, right, you get a group of kids and you looking at them. At that moment, when you looked at those kids, first practice, first day, did you like, oh, this is a championship team? How did you guys grow into it?
Yeah. So I knew. I was told it was this could be a championship team. That's what I was told. But I mean, playing college ball, playing little league, it was like we may be a long way, from winning the championship. Could it be done? Possibly, but it was just different. The pieces had to be put in place. So when I initially, me initially seeing the team and all the boys, it was just like it's gonna be a long season. You know what I'm saying? Like it was gonna be some work. Some work had to be done. But they quickly showed that they were ready.
Yeah, what challenges was that? Like in the beginning, like when you looked at, because for example, people show up to work, right? And work might not be the best example, because sometimes it should be a team, but sometimes most people go to work to do what they got to do and go home. But any team environment that you can think, when you go in from day one, you can be able to say, okay, that ain't gonna help us. That ain't gonna help us. Going back to me, going back to me, right? I always want to say freshman, but is it freshman? Yeah, freshman. Went to college. I was ninth grade. On my last podcast, I said something. I was talking about high school. I mean, I was talking about college, but I said my 10th grade year, something like that. It was crazy, but I was talking about my sophomore year. But anyway, as a freshman, I quickly got there and I saw that our seniors, right, our leadership, we wasn't gonna get there, right? These guys don't love football. This is not the right. What did you see early on? Like, this ain't gonna do this.
So it's funny, man. So Q and the kicker, the one that won the game, the championship game for us, the first initial meet and greet when we had the boys get together, the kicker, I'm with Parker, man. Parker was just this overly energetic kid, man. And coach was talking about how good of a player he was, but I'm like, if he can't control that, here, how he gonna control that in the game? It was almost like 15 boys like that on the team. You feel me? So in my mind, it's like, if we can't get looking to control their behaviors or can control themselves in a moment when you're supposed to be focused, how are we gonna put this together?
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest challenge. For me, it was just trying to figure out how do you do it? Because I promise you, my thing, I think they used to always ask, football is completely different than when we played back then. It's not, you don't really see mental toughness the way that it was back in the day. Back then, man, we played, we played from sun up to sundown. We played backyard. We played ball, same like football, coming home with bust lips, hurt, just different things that we did that kids don't do nowadays. So this day and age is completely different. So for me, knowing that a lot of the young boys that we coach aren't built like us, so to speak. They weren't raised the way that we were. I just said, honestly, I said this generation's just soft, in comparison to how we came up. And I always said that a younger group, 7 to 10, I always felt like that wasn't the age to coach, because it's like, they're not tough enough for me, but they showed me that they really are.
Yeah. And one thing, Keith, it's funny you said that. I was going to even talk about this later on. The part of, I guess, what would you call that? Like folding. I don't know a better word to put it. Like folding when the pressure get hot. I seen that even in the championship game, right? Y'all had one young man in particular I saw. He was on the field, right? The other team scored, and he just lost all his emotions. He had to come out there, like he's crying.
Yeah.
It's like third quarter. We got 2 more quarters left. Little bro came out, had a mental breakdown. You get what I'm saying? But two-part question, why do you think our youth are faced with emotions like that? And 2, how were y'all able to get them back and focus on the goal?
That's another reason why I said I wouldn't coach, man, because I've seen it before. So last year, I went to 2 years ago, I went to one of the games out there at MCYFL, and some of the same boys that we mentored, when they're in a tough environment with us, it's crazy. So when they're with us and they're doing something tough, but they had their mentors there coaching them all the way through, like, you got it, mental toughness. We're pushing them, and they get through whatever tough time, whether it's something with whether it's a team project, or if they're doing it one-on-one or competing, whatever the case is, like, we're able to literally push them through whatever it is that they're dealing with. A lot of times we see the boys when they actually finish something, they're more, I think they're more surprised that, man, I actually finished this. Then, then the other side of it was like, I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of the things. But with the proper coaching, the proper mentoring, we've seen them boys progress, and we've seen them get through those tough times. Yeah. So back to being out there last year, those same young men that we pushed in the environment of being around Cut Different, they're on the field with their coaches. And as adversity hit, I see these same young men folding. Yeah. And it's just like, and I'm I walk to the fence like, yo, you ain't, that's not you. I've seen you, so trying to motivate them, but now they go back into the environment with somebody else, with other men. Yeah. That's not us. That's not our environment. So now I literally watched them fold. They lost the game. They all crying, and it was like, bro, it was a game. But if you would have turned your mindset around, if your mind would have been different, if somebody would have poured into you in that moment, this game could have easily went the other way. But there wasn't anybody there. Yeah. So for us, you said, how do we do it? I guess because it was a lot of it, man. It was going into the fourth quarter. It was overtime. They scored, and one of our old linemen, Alt, man, love the kid to death, man. Alt, as soon as they scored, in the crowd, I just I immediately just went to him like, yo, wait. I'm trying to, hey, just calm down. We got to go back out there. We still get 4 downs in order to score. And I mean, you can say as he's crying, man. It's crazy in that moment because it's like in the back of my mind, I know like if they can't get it together, we cooked. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I need you focused right now in order so that you can go out there and block so that we can score. And we were just able to, and I think all the coaches. And I feel like that was one of those out of the body moments, bro, because I can feel, my voice was getting louder in that moment, but I was literally trying to get all the 7, 8, 9, well, 8 through 10-year-olds to like focus in, like, saying, hey, listen, we still got a chance, but I can feel myself, I can see myself like, everybody listening, in the crowds and in the stands, and the other players just like, okay, no, we still got a chance. And we went right back out and did it. So
that's good stuff. One thing that you didn't see happen that I seen happen, preparation builds success, bro. Preparation builds success. When during the game, right, y'all scored, y'all tied it up for the halftime. This is before the field goal. I'm in the mindset, you about to kick the field goal. All my mind thinking like, bro, do they have to kick the field goal? Can they not go for the, I guess it would be the one in this situation? Yeah. And I'm asking the person next to me. It's an older gentleman that's a black dude, taller dude. He's by me. He hyped up. Let's go. He gave our granddad vibes. He could have been granddad. Parker granddad. Mr. Gary, as my man is preparing to kick, now the granddad say something to Gary. Let's get it. Mr. Gary turns around. He not even paying attention to what's going on out there. He turns around and starts talking to the dude as the kick is going like, he ready. He don't prepare too long for this. This is exactly, I promise to God, this is exactly what he's saying in this moment. He prepared too much for this. Yeah. He's ready. Like he's saying it as his son is going to kick a Super Bowl kick, what I mean, to win. And I'm looking, and he turned this way talking to the dude like, it's already written. Like, it's already done. He's already put in the work. And that level of preparation, that level of confidence, bro, once I seen that, and when it made that kick, because I was nervous. I didn't see the preparation. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm nervous. I'm like, bro, why didn't they go for the one?
Yeah.
Person that did the work and the person that's been there with doing the work, we good. You get what I'm saying? So that goes into preparation and how important it is to prepare for each and every situation, bro. When you prepare, nothing else, like you can't be shaken. Like, I'm good. We got this. And that goes into so just to see that to me, I was like, bro, this is crazy. Man.
So even with that, that goes back to the men. Like it's funny when they be in practice. If Parker missed in practice, everybody like we just try to we put him in that environment where everybody yelling. We got coaches and players, his teammates standing right by his ears. He getting ready to kick, like laughing and making noises and stuff. And just trying to throw him off. He made. I mean, we normally let him kick 5 on like a Thursday. He'll kick 5 and he'll do like 3 out of 5. That, and that's probably the worst that he'll do. But so in that moment, it was like when I heard the cheerleaders, let's go Parker, and in my mind I'm like, no, stop, stop. But at the same time, to your point, then it's like, okay, he's ready for it, right? Now, one thing that everybody don't know, and I guess, and I'm pretty sure Miss Laverne wouldn't care. So Miss Laverne is his mom.
Okay.
And one thing that I know she's probably happy that this has been said. Parker's level of ADHD is so high that it's like sometimes, and that's Parker ended up getting in the not an altercation, but him and Q ended up getting into the altercation, the little scuffle at their very first meeting. And for me as a father, when Parker did it, I'm like, man, stay away. You know what I'm saying? Like you just did that for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I seen you, I ain't gonna say attack my son, but I seen the situation. So for me as a man, as a father, as a coach, like, yeah, nah, that's not a kid that you want to be around. But what happened is, so I'm speaking about his ADHD, but even in that moment, so now he's that environment. That's one thing that I love about Cut Different. And then even in that moment of the kick. So we always say we put kids in an environment. We get to their level, but we put them in an environment for them to win no matter what. ADHD, when you're supposed to be in classroom, sitting down, being quiet, a lot of times it's tough. That's a very bad situation. Well, it could be a tough situation for most kids, but we always try to tell them, even when they're here with us and we see them sitting down, they're behaving themselves. I don't ever want to hear anything about ADHD. The ADHD in that moment when they're with us and we're watching them succeed. And we telling them, I know I go and tell them, bro, I don't never want to hear anything about ADHD, because right now you're able to focus and you're able to sit and do the work at hand. But then there are moments when we take them to another environment where that ADHD is perfect. So in that moment when everybody, in my mind, is like everything should be quiet, Parker should be focused right now. Nah, that was a winning environment for that young man.
Yeah.
And through the season, what really happened, which is crazy, is the relationship between me, Parker, and Q just grew like no other, to the point where his mom came and said, I don't know what it is about you, Mr. Eddie, but Parker loves you. And I don't know if you've seen it, but if you go back and look at each game that we played, anytime when Parker got ready to get, after he kicked, whether he made it or missed it, I always went to him, you good. It's be another chance. And again, that goes back to when I said with our boys, when, going into that environment with being with coaches that's not there to prepare them for the preparation. We're there to mentally prepare these boys week after week, day after day, to let them know that you are somebody. You are gonna succeed. Yeah. And you tell them over and over again, at some point, I gotta believe what you're saying. Yeah. The same kid, not even Alt, it was another kid, Fouts. The game before that with and again, it's talking about preparation and just seeing them win against the Knights, the Pee Wee Knights. Man, Fowles got his butt kicked. So now as we watch a film, we're talking to him, we telling him, what he can do better at, like, this is how you need to block, whatever the case may be. But before the game, I put my arm around, and as the coach was talking, so he I put my arm around him as the coach talking. Coach finished talking, and I said, Fowles, you believe in yourself? He said, yeah. He said, yes, sir. I said, no, for real, do you believe in yourself? He said, yes, sir. I said, you should, because I believe in you. And at that point, this was before the game. You know what I'm saying? So it was like still building them up for that moment. You know what I'm saying? So that you're gonna get that type of outcome, and as long as you're surrounded by the right men, that's gonna build and pour into the young man, whether it's in football and life, bro, you're gonna win.
Yeah, I love it. And I think it leads to the next thing I want to talk about, culture, right? I think culture, you you just can't go win championships with a bad culture, right? And you think about building a good culture. I think there's non-negotiables. Anybody that you could go Nick Saban, any of these Bill Belichick, you go to these guys, they're going to be non-negotiable. They're going to say, we do something this way, and this is how I get done, non-negotiable. When you think about the team, how did y'all build that winning culture, and what are some things that you can think of that was like just non-negotiable that y'all set, those standards that y'all set?
I mean, honestly, Drew Rogers, coach, that was the head coach. He works at the Fire College, and I think just his work that he does, he's a trainer. So you got that, and then you got Dion Gary, that's the principal at Forest High School. Then you got you got Coach Joe. He works for a concrete it's a huge concrete company that's here. But with Coach Joseph, he's up 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So now it's like there's a structure to his day. Like this is how he runs his day. Then you got Coach Ike. Coach Ike was from Nebraska, but he played on some college. I can't remember the college team that he played on. So he played college ball. He coaches at TC. So still now you got this training. Then you got Coach Terrell, Denmark. That he's been around this team's part. A lot of the boys from this year, he was with them last year. So the winning environment that he was on last year, that culture, that was easily poured into this season as well. Then you got me as a mentor and as a ex-football player. It's like the culture with the men that coached on the team, our mentality, our mindset was already on one accord, and that's what I'm pretty sure everybody probably thought that we didn't have any disagreements as coaches, bro. It's crazy. Like even with the perfect season, there was some disagreements that there were times that we didn't see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, everybody's main goal, what we're trying to get to, to win the championship, the Super Bowl, everybody was on the same page, and whatever we just wanted what was best for the boys, and we were able to come together with the same mindset, with the same end goal in mind, and made it happen.
Y'all won all the games?
10-0.
Y'all did win all the games. Hey, it was great.
10-0.
All right, but hey, it was won them all. So to think about that, won them all, win the championship. Your leadership, right? What leadership lessons did you learn?
Yeah.
Through being a coach this year?
Leadership lessons, man. Even so, some of I can hit Coach T right now. Even you're strong as your weakest player. We got a kid, Dylan. Oh man, you got Dylan. You could tell. I think Dylan probably was the youngest one on the team, and you could tell his athletic. He didn't have any athletic ability. Like, let's be straightforward. I remember when they went and got their pass that day. We picked up pass. Dylan was out there crying. I don't want to play football. So, and it's so funny, bro, because before the game, as we were warming up, Dylan was standing by me, and I was telling him where he had to line up on the ball because he was going to start. So I say, Dylan, turn around, look at the shit. I say, you remember what you said the first time that you came out here? And he turned around, he looked, Dylan looked back, and he like had a smirk on his face. I said, you don't remember, dude. He said, yeah, I didn't want to play football. So to see Dylan go from saying like literally crying and saying he didn't want to play and the kids didn't like him and all that, man, the kid finished like Dylan was getting in there. Like he ain't always run to the contact, but he was able to get in there. He stuck with it, and it's just one of those situations like that when you talk about being a leader, you had some of the other young men rally around him. And I posted a picture. I don't know if you've seen it. I posted a picture on Facebook where Coach T's son TJ at the end of, so we're still talking about leadership. TJ's been on the team. I think this was TJ's third year, and after the game, I didn't see it. A parent just sent it to me out of nowhere. After the game, the picture shows TJ embracing the one of the top players on the Dolphins. Nobody told him to do that. I sent that picture to his dad, bro. His dad almost choked up. Again, that's somebody that even after a win like that, he still was able to, the leadership that he has been shown, the things that his dad and his mom taught him at home, those leadership qualities came out on the field in that moment, and it came out in practice plenty of times. So
I like it. Even being in that atmosphere, when you think about football, right? And I just said football is the direct correlation to life, right? There's things you learn, teamwork, hard work, all those things you learn, accountability, all those things you learn from the game. When you think about the mindset and the guys that you all had on this championship run, you personally, what is like the mindset that you were trying to instill when you were coaching the boys that they obviously use in football, but more so in life as well?
It was a mental toughness, bro. Even in the moments, so all across the board at the end of the game, the coaches said this, like the terminology that they deemed that they said for that game was an emotional roller coaster. And as crazy as that game was, the ups and downs and that's life. I don't care, bro. That's life. And we talk about it like you get these kids, or you get these parents that want to put their sons on these winning teams in these winning environments. What's the point of winning if you don't know how to lose? Because that moment you lose, if you're not prepared for it, that's when the kids, what's the term they use? Crash out. I'm gonna crash out because I never been in this situation before. I don't know how to lose. I don't know how to be down. When we went down halftime, in my mind, it was the only thing Coach Eddie was thinking, like, okay, what plays can we run to score? That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's 6-0. We're not down 21-0 halftime. He down 6-0. Right now, we're not moving the ball. We got to figure something out. We go make the halftime adjustments, knowing that, okay, you still got a whole nother half of football to go. Now that we finna go up on this roller coaster, now we're going to be on our high. And I think for me, it's just the mental toughness and being prepared, being okay with losing. But once and what they say, when you get knocked down, it's not about getting knocked down, bro. What you gonna do? You got to get back up.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, for me, that was the biggest thing. Like, you got to be tough in this situation right now. You know what I'm saying?
think about all the places you work, cut different, cone, the prison, all these environments you worked in, and now working with kids. So like, how do you compare? I guess working with adults and working with kids. How do you see are the similarities, differences with working with the two?
Yeah. With the adults, you got some people that's already set in their ways. You can't really mold an adult that's already set. Like if their mentality, and not because I mean, even the prison was about the only place that I worked at that was diverse, men and women. But at Cone, it was, you know, a majority of it were males that were there. So with a lot, and been in a higher position, a higher role, there were people that came in that we had to train. And even though I'm trying to show, I may be showing a new employee how to, hey, this is how we do it, or this is how it should be done, or it could be done to succeed on this, in this story, on this route, or whatever the case may be. You got someone that's like, I don't like it that way. I don't want to do that. So they want to do it their way. And most times they fail. Now, some of them, they can do it. It may just take them a way longer than the way that I would show them. But again, when they're stuck in their ways, when they're set in their ways, I'm not going to say stuck, when they're set in their ways, if they're not open-minded to learning something new, that's what you get. Yeah. But with the kids, they want to be molded, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of them that they just don't know. They don't have that male guidance. They don't have that parent that plays sports to really teach them. You know what I'm saying? So now you have an opportunity to come in and build a kid up, not only athletically, but mentally as well. Like mentally, emotionally, I'm gonna make you as strong as I can in this moment.
Yeah. How did this season help you grow as a man, as a leader, as a mentor? How did this season help you grow?
So one of the things and I know a lot of people sit on our pages, and it's we understand the demographic of the boys that we work with. One of the biggest things to me that was eye-opening was when we went over to the Vikings, the demographic changed. It wasn't a predominantly Black team, and there were a lot of young boys that you hear everybody talk about it. You hear everybody talk about it. They don't understand you. They don't, we all men. We all men. You're 8 years old, just like my son. I don't care, black, white, blue, purple, whatever. You're a young man like my son. If I'm gonna get on my son for jumping outside, I'm gonna get on you for jumping outside. If I'm gonna get on my son for being disrespectful, I'm gonna get on you for being disrespectful. And I had to embrace being in a different environment, but accepting the differences. And I know that sounds crazy, you really gotta, for the person on the other side of the camera, you really have to break down what I'm saying. It's not that, our Cecil Wallace, he's one of my first white friends from Madison Street. Cecil brought Johnny in my life. And me and Cecil still talk to this day. Missy Lane, his mom, like Missy Lane, I stayed over the house. So it's not about the black and white thing, but it was just the simple fact of going from mentoring majority blacks all the time, and then now mentoring it's mixed now, it's diverse now. And the craziest thing that I want somebody to take away from this is, even mentoring us in that moment, Sam Savoy, I came with Jackson, all these young men that are white, I had Sam's mom came to me after one day, and it's crazy. She came to me one day, Sam just loves you. And I'm like, all I did is we rode to Forest High School game. He in the backseat with Q and DJ. And from that point, I guess our relationship, it went from, he wasn't a part of Cut Different, but there was something had happened, and I kind of overheard it from the coaches. But this is my moment to be able to mentor right now. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be at Cut Different, but I can still mentor this young man right now. Yeah. And now he trying to do play dates with Q and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it just allowed a lot of opportunity just for me to experience, and to see and to show, man, bro. We don't care. We don't care how you look. If you're a young man, a man that needs guidance, that you respect Cut Different, and you respect the man who we are, we willing to pour into you no matter what. You just got to be receptive.
Guide young men to own their greatness. And I'm saying no color, just young man. But to wrap this up, man, one word, right? For the whole season, one word that sums up this season and why.
sensational. Nah, man, I mean, it was and one of the biggest pieces to it that I didn't talk about was being able to coach my son. You know what I'm saying? Being able to coach Q. I talked about, you know, just being a coach and, you know, the whole experience of being out there for the first time with on a Pee Wee division. It was fun and I liked it, you know, but being able to coach my son, that's probably one of the best experiences that he and I had together. I mean, as much we always, you know, you always on the go between whether it was real estate, cut different, whatever the case may be. I think me and Q probably had the most car time together than anybody in the house. And a lot of times it shows. So me and him would be on the same page and the women in the house just like, what's wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now it's like he and I, it was a bonding moment. You know what I'm saying? So when I say sensational, it's his first year playing football. He showed what a true stud he really is. They know who Eddie Rock is, not me, the Eddie Rocker Jr. They know who he is because he had a great year. And being able to put him in a different environment too. You know what I'm saying? He's been around cut different. Now he's been around the Vikings, and now he gets to see what life is from both lenses, and you can make the best of whichever one. You got friends, brothers, and cut different. Now you got Sam, that's probably your brother. Sam be blown away. Where's Coach Eddie? He on FaceTime. So you know what I'm saying? So when I say sensational, being around the men, all the coaches, man, it was a great time. The jokes, the tough conversations that we had. I got mentored. I was the youngest one on the coaching staff. They were mentoring me, you know what I'm saying? And I know I need it, you know what I'm saying? So when I say sensational, it's just the whole experience. It was great. Yeah.
Sensation. That's a bad man. Well, good stuff. Put your reins up, my boy. Championship ring, man. Check my boy out. All right, Pee Wee Vikings. Oh man, but keep going. So you going back next year is what you're telling me?
I don't know, man. As a mentor, that's probably
yeah, he'll be back next year, guys.
As a mentor.
He'll be back next year. But man, a great episode. But takeaways from this, man, I just want you guys to hear, right? When we think about winning a culture, everything he said, you can really correlate this to your life, right? What are you doing? Who are you around? We talked about that. We talked about controlling your emotions. There's a lot of things and nuggets you could take from this. These young men, preparation, right? That was one of the big ones. Preparation. All right, preparation breeds success, and you got to know that, man. When you prepared, nothing else can come between. All right, so be prepared for whatever opportunity coming to you. Be prepared right now to stop what you're doing. Like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Put championships in there. Put a ring, put a trophy in the comment, man, with that emoji, man. Let us see it. Big rings over here added to the trophy. I forgot you had already won one with Pops and them. But you didn't get one of these. So get the ring. SYFL stepping their game up. Like, subscribe, and comment. End of the year coming, man. We about to be in 2026, man. Drop in the comments who y'all want to see on the podcast in 2026. We're going to keep getting better and better, man. Bigger and better guests. I shouldn't say bigger and better guests because all of our guests are important, but just more and more people doing great things. And we just going to keep this thing going. But Rocket, man. Championship offensive coordinator, 2-time champion. You got to close it out for us, man. So whatever you got for the people, man. You can talk about championships. You can talk about success. It's all yours, brother.
I said it, man. It's really about your mentality, man. At the end of the day, you're going to be faced with adversity. It's going to be good days. It's going to be bad days. But it really boils down to how you view it, man. What are you going to do to win that day, win in that moment? You just gotta truly believe that at the end of the day that you can win, you can succeed. And if you put your mind to that, pretty sure you'll be on the championship side.
Get it, man. Preparation builds success. Let's get it. See y'all next week.